I saw some more twisters were touching down near your home the other day, Taylor. I gotta ask, like, do you have tornado specific home insurance?
Yeah, it's covered as part of like the natural disaster thing, and so if my house were to get blown away, it would be covered. That would be a disaster.
One of the things that always like stresses me out is I'll be watching disaster coverage where they go to the neighborhood and their home's destroyed behind them. They're like, "Did you have fire insurance?" And they go, "I hope so." It's like, what are you? Me too, dude. Why aren't you on the phone with State Farm? What are you doing talking to us?
Yeah, I mean that would be ridiculous to not have tornado coverage in the Midwest. Like it would be as absurd as having hurricane coverage. Like no, it's not going to make it here, but tornadoes all the time. I was on my phone yesterday. I got first text that was like severe, tornado spotted or tornado alert, at here. I'm like, that's not in my neck of the woods. And then a little bit later, it got worse outside, far windier. It was like 2:45 in the afternoon. And over the course of a 20-minute period, it looked like it was, 8:45 at night outside. And that's usually an indicator it's going to get rough. And I was cleaning my kitchen and I get an alert that's like, seek shelter immediately. And I was like, no, don't you tell me what to do. I'll know. I'll have enough time to run in the basement. National if it hits, service. Like, do you think I'm a fucking pussy? Yeah. Do you think I haven't been around the block? You think I'm like a transplant from fucking Sacramento? First tornado season?
And you didn't hear the tornado siren because that trans lady hadn't made it.
Well, actually, by that point, the tornado siren had been going pretty much nonstop for like 40 minutes, and it because it goes a lot, and then I like, dude, it's the Midwest in spring and summer.
Heard one in my life.
Yeah, and then they overlap where like one will play and another, and so there's like kind of a spooky harmony of it, and I actually like it. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a nice cozy day as long as I don't get fucking fucked up by the tornado. And it is a little bit, it's a little alarming how much the trees are moving outside, but oh, that's a big one and it seems fucked up. Like, let's not do that.
There used to be a tree here.
Yeah, it was fine. I was right. I defeated the storm by just staying calm, cool, and collected, and saying I am not gonna move my Xbox to the basement. It's not gonna happen.
Did a pretty cool thing a long time ago. I forget who it was. Maybe it was Allstate. They're like, we're not selling hurricane insurance anymore. It's too expensive in New Jersey, so you're cut off. And they passed a law. They're like, yeah, any company that refuses to sell hurricane insurance can no longer sell health insurance, car insurance, home insurance, this insurance. Love it. You just have to leave the whole heckin' state. And they're like, all right, we take it back.
Yeah, they should. It's like, we'll sell you Ontario wildfire insurance. It's like, fuck you. No, give me the one that I'm at risk of.
Yeah.
So yeah, tornado season's fun.
I want to see,
as long as you're not the one getting sucked up. But it's cool.
Has anyone ever made a tornado-proof suit and like gotten in the path of a tornado?
Like when Ice Poseidon got in that inflatable ball.
Yeah. like I remember the guy made that bear-proof suit, and there's that great video of his buddies like hitting him with baseball bats and swinging logs from ropes, and him just falling down mountains and stuff in his bear-proof suit. Like, someone needs to do that, but I want it to have fins and stuff. I don't want you to secure yourself to the ground and just let it pass over. I want it to draw you up like you're Dorothy and go for a ride and then land.
It should be like a wingsuit kind of thing.
We need hard armor. We're gonna need you in a pod, and then the pod needs to do this thing like where it has some. I kind of like the bouncy ball idea. Like a giant bouncy ball might be the move.
But imagine, an armored. Like I'm picturing some sort of cross between one of those bomb squad detonation suits and a wingsuit, right? So you're protected in there, but with mild flight abilities.
You're not protected in there.
Well then,
Woody's turned it into an activity, and I like that.
Yes,
now it's a fun thing. Now you see it coming, and you're like, all right. Fun day, Jackie. I'll be home, maybe. If my suit works as you're clonking out of the house.
I'm glad we
standing in the front yard, jumping 4 inches at a time, hoping for the best.
Hope it's barely raining.
Oh, I found the video. We could probably even show this. So I think this is a Chinese guy. He's Asian anyway, but he got cloud sucked up to like 40, 50,000 feet. And he's just frozen like a fucking icicle. Terrifying vortex sucks frozen paraglider 5 miles into the sky. He definitely was higher than 5, about 28,000 feet in the air during a flight over China. He's just hanging from his little para wing, and there are icicles coming off him like a comic book.
Oh, I am so very cheery. Oh my goodness! He's frozen.
Look at his little face all frozen up.
Poor guy. I hope well, I guess he made it. The footage is here. Could have
blacked. People die from this, but he lived. I'm looking at him do absolutely nothing to descend. Like, what kind of incompetent jackass is this guy? He's doing literally nothing but gaining altitude. Tell me,
cold, Woody.
And he's not even trying. He's not fighting for his life. He's just sitting there taking what he gets.
Yeah, you should at least try. Give it an effort. Don't just hope that you don't go into space or whatever happens.
That's what happens. You go into space.
You go to space.
You float away. Yeah, it happens all the time. People float off into space.
His hands are on the brakes, not pulling them. Like, I don't know.
That would have been. Now, I'm no expert, but that would have been my first move.
You think he's just freezing himself for the views? I see.
I don't know.
I wanted to check for stuff getting thrown in a tornado, kind of adding onto your idea of the suit, Kyle. And it looks like a tornado in 2017 threw several cows and a bull over a quarter mile, and all of them survived.
Yeah.
How does that work? Was it like, did it pick them up 8 feet off the ground? Like,
it's because the story's wrong. It clearly is wrong, because how do they know that it picked them up and traveled them a quarter of a mile and then sat them down, and that it didn't just spook them and they ran into a field a quarter of a mile away? Like, unless I see a video,
is tornado damages fence, cows escape.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it won't. It could happen. I could imagine it. What is this, JD? Is that JD Vance powering his way through a tornado?
Bro, that's a space marine. That's that guy is big. You should have said sorry or thank you. Thank you.
Got his bump helmet on.
Yeah, now I'm getting fooled. I don't know if this YouTube short is actually a cow being thrown in a tornado, but it might be. Use your discerning eye.
Yeah, I don't believe it. I've seen it pick up cows and throw them, though, and I'm sure it could.
Oh, it can do that, but I was like, there's no way they could live. Like, you're going so fast and you're so high.
It could theoretically slow them down and sit them down nicely, if that makes sense. The wind could. It could. You know? Like it's just probably not gonna. Weird stuff happens in tornadoes. We've seen those images of wood being driven through brick, and it's like, how does that ever even happen? That doesn't make sense. And people survived in bathtubs, and all sorts of weird stuff has happened with tornadoes. It could sit something down gently. It's just really unlikely that it's going to do that. Cows are tough too. Like, cows are tough I've seen them get hit by cars, and they just get back up. Like in the highway, I've seen them get shot and take bullets and just get back up. They're huge, tough animals.
Taylor, I know you have a basement. Are they really common in your area?
Everybody's got a basement. Yeah.
You think that's related to tornadoes?
Probably. Yeah. Like that's the only trick they have for you is like, go to your basement and go to the part. If your basement has windows, like mine does, like, don't go to the window side, like go to the non-window side and sit there and be fucking bored until the tornado goes away. Or you can be an alpha male, ignore the warnings and wait until shit gets real and then run downstairs. And that's like, it's like, what? I'm not that slow. I can beat the someone else's house is going to get fucked up before mine.
I can move upwards of 6 miles an hour.
Yeah. And then if I get slow, if I'm really trying, I'm cheesing my Oblivion sneak score as I'm walking to the basement to try and not die. Yeah. But it's such a cool natural disaster. I feel bad for everybody who gets fucked up by them every year. But
do you know anybody who's like paranoid about it and is overly safe and protective when it comes to shit like that? Because that was that was the women in my family my whole life, where it was just this overprotective. Like my mom had 9/11 supplies in the basement. It's like
my mom was more paranoid about it than my dad, and so like I do remember many times as a kid, like spring and summertime, my mom would be like, "It's tornado! Like we all have to go down in the basement," and I never minded that as a kid because the unfinished area with no windows in the basement had our hockey net and stuff, and so we could just kind of play hockey for a while. But my dad would like be clearly just playing along and being like, it's fucking fine. Like we could go upstairs at any point. My grandma, and I wouldn't tell her, don't tell her this, anyone who knows my grandma and listens, but she'll text me when there's a tornado and be like, Tyler, there's a tornado right in your area, and I just saw another one touchdown not too far from you. And I'm like, she's like, are you in the basement? You got supplies? You down there? And I'm like upstairs. There's
in the tub. You're in the bathtub.
I got my little cap on, and and my house is terrible for tornadoes because I've got skylights in every room, and so I'd be shattered and destroyed.
It'd suck you right out one of them.
Dude, it sounds like D-Day when it hails here. Just it's so fucking loud. And I'll always send back and tell her, like, yes, Grandma, I'm safely tucked away in the basement. And meanwhile, it's like I'm using my air popper in the kitchen. It feels like it sounds like my windows are gonna blow in. And I'm like, I'm not fucking going in the basement. It's fine.
I really like the skylights. My lake house had a really big skylight in the living room. And when I first moved in, before I got my bed to like up into the loft where it ended up going, I would sleep under that skylight. And every night, like the moon was shining through the trees. Like it was a really cool vibe. I like the skylights a lot. But although it does seem scary in a tornado, I don't know
mind
why it seems more. I don't think it's less safe than just a roof, but it does look that way.
It's not a wind. It's not a wind thing that makes it more dangerous. It's that like branches and stuff. If it does fall in, it would get in more easily, and so I guess that's a little risk. But it's like, if a tree falls on my fucking house, like I'm already in trouble, regardless of how many skylights there are.
Yeah, bigger fish to fry. Mine was plastic too, some sort of plexiglass stuff. It wasn't glass, which would have been scary.
I bet most of them are like that. Like some sort, like they're because we've had. Like tornado season, we also get hail a lot, and some of the hail will be fucking big. And
how big's big?
Of it, like quarter.
It's pretty big.
Okay,
I've seen that before.
Yeah. Loud.
What I've never seen is like
if you see a golf ball size one, it's like rare, and it's like in a pile with a bunch of non-golf ball size ones. It's like, wow, this was a big boy. And like that makes a lot of noise on the skylights, makes it hard to watch TV upstairs, makes me think maybe this little childhood indignance of not going downstairs isn't even paying off at this point. Like,
does it damage your car, the hail?
Oh yeah, it'll fuck your car up. So I just leave it in the garage and it's fine. And
it's such a hideous way to fuck up a car. You need a real talented guy to get all those dents out. I can remember taking in a car at the auction, and it had been, the entire roof looked like you'd let kids on top with little ball peened hammers, and they just put a dent next to every other dent. It was just covered with dents. And the only way to get that out is to have a guy who knows what he's doing, use a tool from the backside and massage those dents out, and that guy charges.
Yeah,
I had a coworker from Kentucky with the coolest hail story. So she was young and therefore poor, and the hail hit her car, this Ford Thunderbird, and it just, little dents everywhere. So the insurance company comes out and they give her some money to have it fixed. And then in the Kentucky summer, I guess the heat and cooling cycle removed all the dents on their own, and she got a check for repairs without having to get it repaired.
What a deal. That's awesome.
It wasn't this bad. I'm sure.
That's a horrible case. That's like Edward James Olmos face of hail.